Hey y'all, it's me again. I am so sorry it took me so long to do an update video. I've been meaning to like every week since my first video, and just life happens and we stay busy. But I just wanted to update y'all because a few of you have asked for an update video, and it's clearly been a long time since I did the first video. So obviously we've had surgery, and this video I might have to put her down because we're 10 and a half months old and a little bit of a handful. Yeah? What about this? So she had her surgery on November 13th, and the neuro and the plastic surgeon, they did the surgery on her skull and took it apart and reshaped it and put it back together. We were in Le Bonheur for a little under a week on the neuro floor, and it was the best hospital. Like, I don't know how we're ever going to be in another hospital ever again because they just have their standards so high, and everything there is just absolutely amazing and over the top. But, so she recovered great, no complications, she didn't need any transfusions, she had the normal swelling, it went away in about 24 hours, and, yeah, she did great. She handled the surgery like a champ. Her vitals remained stable the entire time. And so we got to go home, and since then her head's been reshaping. So the whole point of the surgery was to open up the plates that were fused together because she didn't have those gaps in her skull to allow her brain to grow nice and round and properly. So you just pigging out. Yeah, these Mum bars are amazing. They are great little teething biscuits. So we had one of our follow-ups with the neurosurgeon, and he just wasn't pleased with the shape that they had recreated. It was her case was pretty severe before surgery, and after they reshaped it, the plates were open, so her brain was growing like it should and had the room to grow. But they were a little concerned about the shape still. It was still really long and narrow, her skull was. So they recommended a reshaping helmet, which there's two types of the surgery for craniosynostosis. The first type is the endoscopic, and the second type is the CVR, cranial vault reconstruction. And so with the endoscopic, those babies wear the helmets, but with the CVR, they don't. And she had the CVR, so she wasn't supposed to need a helmet because she had the more invasive surgery, but because her skull just wasn't the best shape, they recommended a helmet. And so we've been in the helmet for a little under 3 months now, and like the number one question we get is, does it bother her? It does not bother her at all. Since the day that she sees Forrest outside. Say hi, Forrest. Since the day we got Since the day we got the helmet, she never once has realized it's on. Actually, she's gotten to the point where we take the helmet off and she kind of tugs at her hair because she's used to like the pressure. And so she takes it great. She's crawling. As of last night, she took 9 steps. So she's pretty much starting to walk. And so the helmet's really great because any of you who have been with a baby at this age know that they hit their head on everything. And sometimes she falls and it hurts her, but like 90% of the time when she falls, she just gets right back up and keeps going because the helmet really protects those falls. And so that's a huge advantage that we have. But we have a specific number and statistics we're trying to get at with her head shape before we're done with the helmet. So our goal is to get out of it before summer because it already, during like the winter and the spring, it gets kind of sweaty underneath there because there's no like air circulation or anything. So we would love to get out of it before it gets too hot outside. But, that all depends on her growth, and obviously the most growth happens when she has growth spurts, and the older they get, the farther apart their growth spurts are, so we're just kind of waiting. We go every 2 to 3 weeks to the orthotist, and he takes her measurements and looks at the helmet to see if it needs any adjustments, and So we're getting there. She is already, they go off of a number called the cephalic index. And when we started right after surgery, she was at 70. And now she's at 76. And we would really like to get to 80. So we're a little over halfway with our progress. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. And so a lot of people, not a lot of babies have helmets, and apparently it's more common in like the Northeast and not really the South. So we get so many questions out in public. A lot of people think that it's like a costume I have her in. I mean, you wouldn't believe the amount of people that say like, oh, look, a little football player. And you just kind of have to, yeah. You good? You just kind of have to accept that people are going to say stuff because people are curious, just as I would be curious if I saw somebody with something that I didn't know anything about. So, yeah, we get a lot of attention. We got a lot of attention before because of her cheeks, but now we really get a lot of attention with the helmet. So, yeah, and it's been great. We've been getting there, and, if you don't correct the problem that she had, there's a lot of risks that can happen, seizures, intense migraines, learning disabilities, because their brain doesn't have the space to grow. And so she never showed any of those signs before surgery, and she really doesn't show any signs after surgery. She's actually kind of ahead for her age group, which is great. We kind of needed that little break, but yeah, she is just on top of everything, and she's just a completely normal little girl, 10 and a half months old, and completely normal. I can't believe I almost have a 1-year-old. And so, yeah, life is good, and the next time we see the plastic surgeon and the neurosurgeon, it will be at their craniofacial clinic in the middle of June. And so we kind of go into the neurosurgeon whenever I have a question, because the head, when you take apart the skull, it doesn't grow back smooth. It can kind of have some bumps in it, and she has, a few lumps and bumps and dips, and they're not super noticeable. But of course, as a mom who had a baby have skull surgery, I get concerned every time a little bump pops up. So we see the neurosurgeon like every few weeks when something pops up, and he just assures me that that's how it's supposed to be, or that's how the bone growth is supposed to be. So she's doing great, and hopefully we'll be out of the helmet soon. I appreciate all of y'all's prayers. We couldn't have gotten through this without all the prayers. I am a true believer in the power of prayer, and we had, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you praying for her, and countless churches that we have never even met the people were praying for us, and they were felt. They provided me so much comfort, and Gabe and I, the number one thing besides Emmie's safety that we wanted during her surgery was just peace that passes all understanding. And although that was the hardest day of our lives that we never want to relive, it was amazing how much just peace that we had that was just unexplainable. And I just have all y'all to thank for that, because I truly believe it wouldn't have gone over as well if it wasn't for her being just covered in complete prayer. So I really appreciate that from all of y'all. And I will try to post another video maybe when she gets the helmet off, because I don't think we'll have a ton of updates between now and then. But I just wanted to pop on and say thank you and give y'all a little update on where we are in life. So Emmie, can you say bye-bye? Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. We'll talk to you later.